I am the red button that says, "Do not press." A button that holds so much power, but is rarely touched. Though there are some who can't resist its temptation. It's so shiny and different than all the other buttons, and it has a special note. Of course it attracts attention. This is all understandable when thinking of a button. But what if a button were a person that didn't ask to be red or have outstanding characteristics? Never asked to be the one that people leave alone? Why couldn't that button have just been the same color as all the other buttons? But that's why I love to read, because we can usually find something of ourselves in what we're reading, especially if it's in the Bible. Isaiah 53:3 said he was despised and rejected by others, a man of suffering and acquainted with infirmity. And as one from whom others hide their faces, he was despised, and we held him of no account. And this is a messianic prophecy. You can go into the New Testament and see just how much of no account he was treated. So much of no account that we chose a thief to be freed over him, and we crucified our Lord. Likewise, how many times have you felt like that? Like you just can't make or keep friends. Girls don't like you, you look for them, they're hiding from you. Guys don't holler, they laughing at you. What if it's deeper than that though? What if your mom doesn't like you? Or your dad never comes to your games? I felt like I was of no account so many times. Fitting, but never quite fitting in. And I finally began to realize that people just can't help it. If I were to have fit in with some of the homies, I may be dead now, or strung out on drugs. If I had fit in with some of the other folks, I may have been a gossip, or a liar, maybe even a cheat. Sometimes, most times, in order for us to accomplish our goals, we have to be isolated. Even if you're on a team, work is an individual thing. They say there's no I in team, but the team is literally made up of I's. Those I's called individuals. And each individual must do their part in order to further the team's development. Speaking of teams, sometimes I wonder what it would have been like if Christ were a football player. And I don't mean that disparagingly against football players, I just mean that as a comparison of popularity. Isn't it weird that the gifts Christ can offer are much more valuable than a touchdown or a new house or car? But these things in our lives get more love than we are willing to give Christ. That's what I mean. When you have lived, nice guys finish last. When you can confirm no good deed goes unpunished. When you have felt like the underdog your entire life, it's exhausting, but it's not without purpose. One of my favorite weirdo isolation stories is that of John the Baptist. This man was out in the wilderness eating bugs, dressed in camel's hair. Bugs, y'all, bugs. Yes, I know they're a great source of protein, but when everyone else around you is wearing regular clothes and sitting all together and eating filet mignon, isolated camel hair wearing, bug eating is just weird. But Mark 1:2-3 says, "As it is written in the prophet Isaiah, see, I am sending my messenger ahead of you, who will prepare your way, the voice of one crying out in the wilderness. Prepare the way of the Lord, make his path straight." This weirdo turned out to be the one chosen to baptize Jesus. You could be the weirdo, chosen to change the lives of many. But you must be able to hear God when he speaks. Be grateful for your individuality and your isolation, that there's not too much noise that you can't listen to the voice of the Lord in the wilderness. And remember, it's only what you've done for the Lord that will last. So hear the voice in the wilderness and then scream it as loud as you can to the top of your lungs. Cry out from that wilderness. That's why you're a weirdo. Because you've got something so different to say that the popular kids can't understand it. They can't comprehend it. But you got this.